It was spring of 2005. I had a son who was, about 8 months old at that point. I was alone in the house. No sign or symptom of anything going on. Hadn't had any cardiac signs till that point in my life. High cholesterol, but that was it. I was sitting at the dinner table and I suddenly felt like my heart was racing. And checked my heart rate and it was probably 150, 160. And again, I was just sitting, no reason for it. So I get up and I start kind of moving around and it wasn't changing. So I called my medic at home and we start talking about it, and I tried every cardiac trick in the book, the Valsalva, the holding my breath, the standing on my head, nothing was changing it. Wasn't going to call my wife and worry her, so I finally drove myself to the nearest fire station. Looking back, I was that guy that was ignoring the signs and doing what I shouldn't have done. And when I got there, they hooked me up to a 12 lead and found I was an atrial fib. Again, kind of being stubborn, I drove myself to the ER, left my kid at the daycare. And by the time I got there, it was gone. They hooked me up to a Holter monitor for the next 48 hours, and they never captured it again. So they weren't denying it was there, but they said it was probably a transient event, and if it were to happen again, call them up. I followed up with a cardiologist who said the same thing. So fast forward now about 9 months, and through those 9 months I would have occasional PVCs at night when I was sleeping. I could feel them, but no pains, occasional dizziness from sit to stand. But again, being stubborn, just kind of worked through it. At that 9-month mark at the station, we had put 4 leads on, and we were doing stress testing just for our own information, just to see where we were at from a health perspective. And at rest, medic puts them on and finds I'm an atrial fib. The funny thing was the cardiologist said call right away and come right in if it ever happens again. We printed the strip, I called the office, and they said, oh, we can get you in 3 to 5 weeks. And I'm thinking that's not right. And I tried to explain, and the lady just wasn't getting it. Next morning, as they're unlocking the door, I'm pushing the door with the strip in hand, and I said, look at this and tell me if I can wait 3 to 5 weeks. And within 5 minutes, there was a PA putting a Holter monitor on me and putting me in a room going, all right, you're in atrial fib. And they gave me a choice at that point. They said, we can either do medications, and there were always issues with that, or we can try an ablation. An ablation meaning they're going to laser around the spot that's sending extra signals between the other 2 nodes that we have. And my choice was immediately, let's get this done. I want this over with. And they had me on a table within 5 days, and it was an 80% chance success rate, but 20% that it wasn't going to work. And fortunately for me, it has worked. And I had no warning signs of my arrhythmia. But when I did, I kind of ignored it. So I would say be proactive. If you feel something that's not right, get it checked. As a pure fitness trainer, I've seen where when firefighters do get things taken care of, sooner than later, things can be handled, things can be taken care of. It's kind of like a fire. If you hit it sooner, it's easier to put out. If it grows, then you've got a conflagration that's going to be a bear to take care of. So be proactive. Don't ignore the signs. If you know something's wrong, just get it looked at. As we get older, our bodies are changing, and this lifestyle isn't conducive to being healthy. So the more we can do ahead of time, the more awareness we can have, and those risks, I think, is going to be really key to living a longer retirement and enjoying it.